Hey guys, and welcome to Death Valley, or its little sister, in Albions Park. And this build came into existence by a very unusual way. And here's why. So, I built all of this yesterday, and well, it's Death Valley, or at least a replica of some sort. And I included all of it, all like an own mining town, bad water basin, Devil's Golf Course, Dante's View, Mesquite, sand dunes, even the Yubi crater, because I wanted to add it. And I really like how this turned out, but look at this. I love it. It's beautiful. And here are the acros. I even added like the Black Mountains and a version of the artist's palette. I'm going to tell you more about this, I guess, in the voiceover. But now I scrolled out and realized this is huge. This is way too big. And now I have this huge ridge going through the entire park, taking like most of the space that I had planned to use for the desert section. And I think I need to I think I need to do it over again, and I think I'm going to do it now. So yes, I deleted all of this, but don't worry, my friends, I saved it. I created a second save file. The old version is still there. And I have also recorded the making of this first version, and I spontaneously decided to turn it into a video for my Patreons. So it's not done yet. I still have to record the voiceover and everything, but if you want to see how I did this first version, this bigger version of Death Valley, head on over to my Patreon account that I'm going to link in the description. And yeah, see if you want to support me, and check out the video that I'm going to upload there, and many other things, I guess. But I have some plans, my friends. I have some plans. So, but let's get to this build. So I made a sketch, and I wanted to include this mining town again and have a camp there. I wanted to keep the crater, but not include it in the build. And I marked it with a little S. Thought this would be a nice transition to something Sierra Nevada, maybe Sequoia themed. And yeah, so I started creating the landmarks. The Death Valley is actually lying between two, well, it's a valley, so it's lying between two mountains. It's just, wow, you're learning so much here. This is fantastic. Yeah, so the one is the Black Mountains. I think they are actually called the Black Mountains. And the other is something else. And they have a different color. So they're not called the Black Mountains. Well, okay, so I started laying the tour, and I added this stop for people to access the campsite, which is going to be a hotel section with 2 campgrounds for kids to stay and with their parents who will stay in the hotel there. And I added some definition to the crater, but it's going to be part of this build today. And I added like a little bit of movement to this mountain ridge on the right, which is sort of our Dante's View, because there is a viewpoint in the real Death Valley that is called Dante's View. I'm so fascinated by this place. All the names alone of the places there, I just want to go there. I mean, Dante's View, that's just awesome. Also, there is like Devil's Cornfield, Devil's Golf Course, a bad water basin alone. that and Furnace Creek. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I did my research and I'm obsessed. So you saw me laying down a few fences here. One is going to hold the Acrocanthosaurus that were requested by Natalie Holt, who requested this whole build, and I'm very thankful for it. Thank you, Natalie. And the other is surrounding the campgrounds, because I figure when you're staying there, you need some safety. You know, overnight, it's best to fence you in because there's dangerous animals all around you. Yeah. So, and I laid fences for another exhibit. We're going to talk about it later. So, yeah, here is, man, this is fast. Okay, so I'm laying down. I placed a hotel, and I placed a Mediterranean hotel because I was going for, you know, one for the. I was actually toying the idea of adding a ghost town, like an abandoned old mining town, but I decided to make it a real one. No, not a real one, but a place that you can live in. Here I'm creating Camp Badwater, which is one of the 2 campsites, and it's for older kids, you know, teenagers and young adults, and it's really close to the Acrocanthosaurus exhibit and the fence, and it has the desert theme, as opposed to the other one that is Camp Sequoia, which is for smaller children and preteens, you know, so you don't have to stay with your annoying little brother or sister when you want to stay there for a summer camp. Awesome, by the way. Yeah. So anyhow, I was toying the idea of making this a ghost town that you could walk through but not stay there, visit, because I have a guilty pleasure that is not going to mean anything to my German friends, but my American friends here will know what this means, because I have visited so many old abandoned mining ghost towns with my dear friend Zach Bagans. I'm obsessed with ghost adventures. So I wanted to, and when I did my research, I found that there were so many old mines there. Of course there were. It's a mining spot all around, everywhere. That's what were the Americans doing there? They were mining for gold and whatever. So, of course there are old mines and ghost towns, by the way. So this is Camp Sequoia. Oh my God, my mind is cluttered. It's so hot here. It really is. It's appropriate that I'm doing a desert episode today because it's so hot here. I'm melting. Anyhow, well, I didn't decide on doing a ghost town because I thought it's nicer to have actually livable campsites there for children and kids to stay. But I added like a mock gold mine to this little abandoned old, well, not abandoned anymore, this mining town that is going to actually be like an attraction for the campers there. So I'm still doing the tables and stuff and beautifying the camps. So yeah, oh my God, where is my train of thought? There. So gold mine. I'm doing a mock gold mine between those 2 camps later. I think in about a second. No, I'm decorating with sequoias. Because it's Camp Sequoia. So yeah, it's for the smaller children. No spiky stuff, no cacti, no prickly things that are dangerous. Here we just have fluffy bushes, redwood trees, and nice things. And the other one, for the young adults, has a desert theme. It's Camp Badwater. It's such an awesome name. And it has prickly things, as you can see. There. Aloe. There's a J-plant. Okay. So never mind. Watch this, and I'm talking. Don't listen to me. I'm a little confused. So yeah. What am I saying? I was trying to make this really cut off this camp for the teenagers from, the plaza, the entry plaza there. But it didn't work. I didn't leave myself enough space. So I tried a few times. I edited this all out until I decided to just not first place the path and try to squeeze in these rocks, but place them first and then add the path, as you see now. So that worked much better. So I had space for vegetation, prickly vegetation, and lots of rocks. And so this camp is really, the other one has a big entrance. It's right next to the hotel because parents want to take a look at their kids, at their small kids, but the parents will have to stay at the hotel. So, but it's right next to the camp. But this one is for the big kids. So they have an entrance that is a little tucked away. It's hidden by the rocks and stuff. So yeah. Now I'm doing I'm filling in the path. And I left this little circle open to plant a tree, as you just saw, adding lights around it. Fantastic. So now I'm creating a seating section for the parents on the back side of the hotel. Very nice. And a little planted thingy. And I added these wall pieces and put some vegetation behind them. So I just thought, this is an electrified fence and there's kids there running around. You need to add something so that Draco Malfoy wouldn't just immediately run to the fence and get electrocuted. So I added this wall piece just, as a precaution. I know there is a sign on the fence, don't touch it, it's electrified. You'll die if you touch this, but better safe than sorry. So, lots of walls, a few fountains. By the way, I chose those fountains because they remind me a little bit of like troughs for watering your horses or stuff, something like that. So I thought it fit like fine with the theme of this old. There we go. Now is the old gold mine remains. So the thing with this gold mine is that it's not a real one, obviously. But I had the idea that I'm going to put one of those DFW tents in front of it, and the idea was that campers could book a guided tour through it with a ranger, and you can go into the mine and explore it and go dig for fossils and find amber and all sorts of treasure. And I imagine this would be something fun to do for the kids. So I placed the skull there. So you see, there's something you can find there. And then I thought I had to add security outposts so that there's someone watching the people at night when they sleep. So just to make sure that the dinosaurs around surrounding them don't get in. Something might happen. You never know, something might happen. Some things have happened in the past in these types of parks, so better safe than sorry again. But of course, I wanted them to the outposts, the watch towers, to fit the theme of this old town abandoned mining thing. So I chose the rustic, as Emily Gilmore would say, outlook thingies from the Malta building thing. And disguised them as as old mines as well. Not this one, but the first one, where I added all the rocks and stuff around it. So I added one of those 2 towers to both ends of this hotel section. And this is probably all I have to say about this hotel section. Now I'm just decorating this little space there behind the palm trees. And then we're going to, I guess, add a table and chairs, and now we're going to decorate the exhibit of the Aircrows. And as I said, I'm so fascinated about this place. So there is this thing called Badwater Basin, which is it's the lowest point, and it's like 200 meters or something below sea level. And this over centuries, evaporated water formed like these salt crystals, so the whole ground is covered in salt crystallizations. This is Badwater Basin, so every time it rains, the water collects there and adds, when it evaporates, to the salty crust on the floor. And if you want to do something like this, you should do this on a desert map, to be honest, or maybe Malta or something, because you have the really white sand. Yeah, and there's Devil's Golf Course that I completely didn't say anything about, and now I'm doing the Mesquite sand dunes. Okay, so stop. So the crystallite salt, in one spot, it forms these weird, crystals that are like rocks and really spiky. And it's called Devil's Golf Course because it's so hard to walk there that you say only the devil. This is what the devil uses to play golf on. And now onto the Mesquite sand dunes. Those are dunes that are pretty well known in Hollywood, like Star Wars and stuff was filmed there. And they have these mesquite plants, which are some type of bush with lots of dead wood. So that's why I use the logs growing there, and they are just flat sand dunes, and I liked the idea of adding those as well because it adds something else. And now, oh my god, this is way too fast. Okay, so now comes a part that is really long, so I have time, I can breathe. Okay, so what else is there? So I told you that on one side there is this there are the Black Mountains, and part of the Black Mountains is a rock formation that is filled with well, how can I say this? Well, there is a spot where all the elements, different elements like copper and iron and stuff, corroded or keep corroding and add these beautiful greenish, turquoise, pink, red, orangey colors to the rocks. So that's why it's called the artist palette. Also, there are like several different types of rock in different layers. So it's like, that's why I added the white rocks and the orange, the desert rock. And I'm also going to add the, I don't know, temperate rocks, just to try to recreate this feeling. It's actually a really smooth mountain surface, the real artist's palette. But I can't do this here. Maybe on, as I said, on a desert map, you have better possibilities of adding those with the terrain paint, but here I couldn't do this, so I had to use the rocks. And I thought that maybe if I put lights in front of the rocks, colored lights, and hide them with more rocks, so that you just see a hint of color on some of those, it's better than nothing. I just like the idea of having this artist palette here. And yeah, it took a really long time. This is the longest part of the video. So by the way, if you want to skip this, because by now you know how I did this, and if you like it, you like it, and you know by now, or you don't. So skip it if you want to. I don't care. But I did this, so I have to show it all. Yeah, so by illuminating the rocks, I thought, with the colors, I thought this was the only possibility that came to my mind to add this fantastic feature that you can find in the real Death Valley. So yeah, lots of lights and rearranging rocks. And I added this to the entrance, so to say, of the tour, like opposite of the Black Mountain, because I wanted the people to have something to look at. I know I laid down a fence on the other side on the Black Mountains. So, by the way, I need suggestions from you what to put in there. Also, I need suggestions what to put in the crater. Yeah, but I wanted people to have something nice, but not too spectacular to look at on the other side. And then I thought, if you stay here overnight, wouldn't it be beautiful if you look out onto the Death Valley in front of you to have these glowing rocks there just for you, because no one else is going to see them. It's something special for the hotel guests and the campers, because usually there are no tours at night. So yeah, I added them as well to the whole mountain ridge front. Not the whole. I sprinkled in some spots of illuminated rocks. And by turning this to nighttime, I realized that the colors I had used before are really vibrant, and it's just too much. See how I started to add some more space between the lights because it's too much. It's more than what I wanted in terms of glowiness. So now I'm starting to tone down those colors, dull them down a little bit by, you know, not choosing the most saturated colors, but yeah, toned down versions, and spreading them out a little more, the lights. And I like this much more than what I did with the first version of this. And then yeah, now I'm just adding a few more rocks because I thought it's a little weird that I just have this one rock formation there and nothing else. And I'm torn about whether I like this or not. It's the same thing as with the mini Mongolia. You know, I have the terrain texture put down, and it does so much in conveying the feeling of this being really big. Because if you don't add details like rocks and plants, it looks bigger than it is. And I actually like that look, especially if I'm doing something like a miniaturized version of a real place. But there was just no way for me to create this artist's palette without using the rocks. So yeah, I'm a little torn if I like it or not. It's a stretch, and if you don't like it, I get it. I mean, I'm not even sure if I do. So yeah, lots of lights and rocks. By the way, one of the reasons I decided to redo this whole thing is that I did this before in the first version as well, but I hid the lights with a lot of plants. And I wasn't sure if I liked it. Not because I used plants. Now, these mountains are really sparsely the vegetation on these mountains is very sparse. there's practically, like, there's bushes, small, low bushes. I think it's maybe the mesquites, but not all those J plants and those olive bushes I took from the Mediterranean. And it's, I mean, this is already very far from the original, but the one version I did before with the plants was so far away from it that I wasn't sure if I could keep it like this, although it looked nice. It did. I like it. But yeah. But again, if you want to see how I did this, go check out my Patreon. Ooh, and also, yeah, I turned on the day-night cycle before I started doing like the second version of the artist's palette for our guests. So it's slowly turning daytime now. And there's Dante's View. I'm just checking how it looks. And I like it. Now, I didn't fully decorate this, this whole trail over here, because I want to keep it open for me to maybe add something to the other side to it. I don't know exactly. I just didn't want to, you know, work myself into a corner there by just putting too much stuff there. I just wanted to, you know, keep it a white canvas for the future. And I added some lights here as well, so that the people coming from this direction also get a little look at the beautiful oxidation that happens in nature. So yeah, again, same technique as before. But I gotta say, I like this toned down version with fewer lights and not as vibrant colors. It's like a hint of color. I like this. Yeah. What else can I say? It's okay. I like it. I'm not sure if I like it for the Death Valley exhibit, even if it's inspired by Death Valley, but it doesn't look like Death Valley at all. But overall, it's a nice idea. So yeah. What else? I added J plants and bushes, just so there's a little bit of something interesting happening after you get down, after you saw the valley. Just not blank space, but something nice to calm you down again from all the excitement of driving on the ridge there. So some nice colors, a little bushy bush action happening. So yeah, that's it. And now for the Black Mountains. Now here I strayed a lot from the original. In the first version, I didn't as much because I thought, what the heck? Let's add the redwoods here as well. Why wait? Who wants to look at more barren bush deadness? Who wants that? I don't. So I added redwoods, but I stayed to the Black Mountain theme with the darker rocks I used, and I tried with the rocks and the individual placeable trees to sort of create corridors for whatever dinosaur is going to live there. As I said, guys, I need your suggestions for that. You know, to direct their walkways so they don't walk over the steep parts of this mountain, but the smoother ones. And yeah, but I think I got a little carried away, and by the end I'm deleting a few bushes because I realized that I maybe just completely cut off half of the exhibit to whatever dinosaur living there because I just put too much in the way. but we'll see about that. Who could live there? Something from something North American, of course. We're still in the North America section here. The transition, it's a transit zone to the desert. Yeah, but I'm thinking herbivore, to be honest. I don't want to plaster this completely with carnivores. I think the acros are a perfect fit. Also, I gave them the Death Valley skin. So yeah, here I'm starting to like plaster everything with bushes, and I think I might have cut off 1 or 2 sections by doing that to access by dinosaurs. Whatever. What am I saying? What I have all the words, just not those I need. My friends, I really like this exhibit. I wish I should have done just a whole recreation of the thing in like a grander scheme and not included in the park, but I'm happy I included it in the park because I like it a lot. I like it. I hope you do too. Now's all the glamour shots. Yeah, I didn't continue with the backside what am I saying? Listen to me. I have lost all my words. I'm done. Enjoy these beautiful images you're seeing right now. I hope you liked this. I hope this inspired you at least a little. I really like the idea of having these camps there with the gold mine dig site attraction thingy, and I really like. As I had said before in previous videos, that I was probably going to do this by the help of the monorail trick, and I'm pretty happy that I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I thought it might, the holes you need in the ground on the edges of the monorail, they would just have cost so much space that I didn't want to waste space anymore. I'm out of space in this map. And that's it. That's the Death Valley. I hope you liked this. I thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, check out my Patreon, and leave me some suggestion what to do next. I say bye-bye. Until next time.